There are fighters. And then there's Emanuel Augustus, a man who didn't just box, he performed. A showman, a trickster, a warrior who could frustrate and entertain at the same time. Nicknamed the Drunken Master for his unorthodox, almost dance-like style in the ring, Augustus was one of the most entertaining and unpredictable fighters in boxing history. He has an impressive record with 38 wins, showcasing his dominance in the ring. Among those victories, 20 have come by knockout, proving his power and ability to finish fights decisively. Born in Brownsville, Texas on January 2, 1975, Augustus started boxing at 17 under his birth name, Emanuel Burton. After his parents married in 1974, he took his father's last name and became Emanuel Augustus. But no matter what name he fought under, one thing stayed the same. He was a nightmare for anyone who stepped in the ring with him. Augustus wasn't your typical contender. He wasn't just in the ring to win, he was there to put on a show. His fights, especially on ESPN's Tuesday night fights and Friday night fights, made him a cult favorite. Whether it was taunting opponents mid-fight, dropping his hands, or doing his signature string puppet dance, he made sure the crowd was entertained. The epic 2001 showdown between him and Mickey Ward was hailed by fans as the fight of the decade. And get this, Floyd Mayweather, a legend in the boxing world who's gone toe-to-toe with icons like Oscar de la Hoya, Shane Mosley, Miguel Cotto, and Manny Pacquiao, still calls Augustus the toughest opponent he's ever stepped into the ring with. How awesome is that? But don't let the theatrics fool you. Augustus had serious skills in their hometowns. He didn't have the privilege of handpicking opponents like many top fighters do today. And because of that, he was often on the wrong end of some highly questionable decisions. One of the most infamous examples? His fight against Courtney Burton on July 6, 2004. Augustus dominated the fight, but somehow, the judges handed Burton the victory in a decision so controversial that the state of Michigan launched an investigation into the verdict. Though they didn't overturn the result, Augustus got his revenge 2 years later, stopping Burton in the 8th round with a vicious left hook to the body. One of Augustus's biggest wins came on July 19, 2002, against Carlos Wilfredo Vilches. The circumstances? Classic Augustus. He took the fight on just 2 days' notice after Vilches' original opponent, Vince Phillips, pulled out. At the time, Vilches was a highly ranked fighter with a 37-1-2 record, but Augustus didn't care about rankings. He stepped in, applied relentless pressure, and dismantled Vilches. By the 8th round, a cut near Vilches' left eye forced the stoppage, giving Augustus one of the biggest wins of his career. That victory shot him up to the number 2 spot in the IBF light welterweight division rankings. But in typical Augustus fashion, he followed it up with 4 losses and a controversial draw, proving that boxing politics and questionable judging often stood in the way of his true potential. On January 21, 2005, Augustus was in desperate need of a win. The 30-year-old entertainer of the ring had lost his last 2 fights and was itching to remind the world why he was must-watch TV. Across from him stood Dylan Carew, but as soon as the bell rang, this fight was all about Augustus. His signature style, slipping, dancing, throwing punches from wild angles, had Carew on edge from the start. He picked him apart round after round, until finally, in the 8th, Augustus turned up the volume. A relentless flurry of punches rained down, and Carew had no answers. The referee had seen enough. The fight was stopped, and Augustus snapped his losing streak with a dominant TKO. His record moved to 29-25-6. But more importantly, the legend of the Drunken Master was alive and well. Fast forward to July 8, 2005. Augustus was back in action, this time against veteran Ray Oliveira. Now, Oliveira was no pushover. He was a relentless volume puncher with an iron chin. But Augustus? He had the unpredictability of a street magician with dynamite in his hands. From the start, Oliveira tried to impose his high-paced style, but Augustus was locked in. He slipped, weaved, and countered beautifully, frustrating his opponent. As the rounds ticked by, Augustus's rhythm became poetry in motion. His combinations were precise, his defense airtight. By the 8th round, he had battered Oliveira so badly that the referee had no choice but to step in. Another TKO win, another show-stopping performance. His record climbed to 30-25-6, and his reputation as boxing's ultimate wildcard only grew stronger. Loved the video? Subscribe to our channel for more great content. September 1st, 2006. This one was personal. The first time Augustus fought Courtney Burton, he got robbed on the scorecards in one of the worst decisions in boxing history. But this time, he wasn't letting it go to the judges. From the opening bell, Augustus controlled the fight, turning Burton into his showcase. Slick defense, unpredictable movement, and pinpoint counterpunching. Burton simply couldn't keep up. Augustus chipped away, working the body, landing sharp combinations, and making Burton look lost. Then came the 8th round. Augustus saw his moment and delivered a brutal knockout punch that sent Burton crumbling. No controversy this time, no bad decision. Just cold, hard justice in the form of a knockout. With the win, Augustus improved to 33-27-6, avenging his previous loss and proving once again why he was one of the most electrifying fighters the sport had ever seen. The Showman takes over. April 2nd, 2004. Another night, another opponent stepping into the ring with one of boxing's most unorthodox warriors. Emanuel Augustus, the man known for his unpredictable style and footwork that made him look more like a street performer than a prize fighter, was set to face Alex Trujillo in a super lightweight clash. Coming off a draw in his previous fight, Augustus entered the bout with a record of 27-23-6 and a modest knockout rate. But numbers don't tell the story of the Drunken Master. For 12 rounds, Augustus put on a performance that had the crowd entertained and Trujillo bewildered. He danced, he slipped punches, and he countered with pinpoint accuracy. By the time the final bell rang, no doubt had stolen the show. The judges saw it the same way. Augustus walked away with a unanimous decision victory, improving his record to 28-23-6. On September 26, 1998, 23-year-old Emanuel Augustus stepped into the ring as a major underdog, facing IBF super lightweight champion John Thaxton. With a record of 17 wins, 12 losses, and 4 draws, along with just 7 knockouts, Augustus wasn't exactly seen as a power puncher. To make matters even tougher, he was fighting on only 10 days rest after his last bout. But Augustus had other plans. From the opening bell, he put on an unorthodox yet relentless performance, frustrating Thaxton with his slick movement and unpredictable style. As the rounds progressed, Augustus turned up the heat, landing crisp shots and breaking down the champion. By the 7th round, the momentum had completely shifted. Augustus unleashed a flurry of punches that left Thaxton defenseless, forcing the referee to step in and stop the fight. With the stunning TKO victory, Augustus not only defied the odds, but also claimed the first world title of his career, becoming the new IBF super lightweight champion. Emanuel Augustus was more than just a boxer. He was a spectacle, an entertainer, and a fighter who never backed down from a challenge. Although his record didn't truly reflect his exceptional skill, he left an undeniable mark on the sport by taking on elite competition and turning every fight into a must-watch event. What's your all-time favorite moment featuring Emanuel Augustus? We would love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below and let's chat about it. If you enjoyed this look into one of boxing's most entertaining fighters, please stories. Thanks for watching. Can't wait to see you in the next video.